It's funny. The average commercial construction company doesn't actually lose its profit margin to a sudden spike in lumber prices or like a couple of rainy days.
Right. It's never the obvious stuff.
Exactly. It loses its margin to a project manager spending, 4 excruciating hours looking for an email with a structural steel submittal.
Oh, yeah.
All while a massive crane is just sitting there, totally idle on the job site, basically burning cash by the minute.
It's painful to even think about.
It really is. So welcome to the Scaling Legends Deep Dive. Today, we're unpacking a massive geographic shift in construction demand it's about to hit the industry in 2026.
It's a big one.
A huge one. But more importantly, we're exploring exactly how you, the construction business owner listening right now, how you can scale your operations to actually capture this unprecedented work without your company, just collapsing under the sheer weight of all the administrative tasks.
Yeah, because it's the classic double-edged sword of a business boom, right?
Right.
The contracts are out there. They're just waiting to be signed. But the internal infrastructure required to actually manage that volume of work without bleeding cash, it often just breaks down completely.
Which is why our mission today is so critical. We're looking at a really detailed breakdown of a mega project south of the U.S. border that is fundamentally going to change the map. And we're pairing that with an operational deep dive into AI-powered scaling tools designed specifically for contractors.
Because you're going to need them.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you're already pouring concrete on the Gulf Coast or you're looking to expand your footprint into that region, the coming wave of nearshoring means incredible opportunity.
But only if you're ready for it.
Exactly. That opportunity only materializes if your back office and your project managers are prepared to handle the absolute tsunami of paperwork, RFIs, and daily logs that comes with it.
Yeah, and to understand why this operational preparation is frankly do or die right now, we have to look at the macroeconomic driver behind this coming surge.
Let's get into it.
We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of how goods move globally. And it's happening right next door.
Yeah, let's get right into that catalyst. According to Smart Business Automator's Market Intelligence Report, Mexico's $4.5 billion Interoceanic Corridor connecting the Pacific and Gulf coasts is completely reshaping trade routes.
The sheer scale of this disruption, it really cannot be overstated. For decades, global logistics have relied on a few very fragile shipping lanes.
Right.
We've all seen what happens when the Panama Canal experiences a drought, or when West Coast ports just get totally bottlenecked.
It's a nightmare for the supply chain.
Complete nightmare. So this new Interoceanic Corridor is a 188-mile modernized rail line. It connects the port of Salina Cruz on the Pacific directly to the port of Coatzacoalcos on the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. So freight can now unload on the Pacific, zip across the narrowest part of Mexico in just a matter of hours, and hit the Gulf. It shifts the center of gravity for North American logistics entirely.
It's essentially acting like a brand new Panama Canal just opening up right in our backyard.
That's a great way to put it.
It functions as this massive continental funnel pouring freight and manufacturing and, logistical opportunities straight into Texas and the U.S. Gulf Coast.
And all of that freight needs a place to go once it crosses the water or crosses the border into the United States.
Right.
It demands immediate large-scale infrastructure to catch it. That translates directly to an explosive localized construction boom across the U.S. Gulf Coast, the Texas border, southeast port cities.
So what exactly are we building here?
We're looking at a massive immediate surge in cold storage facilities, warehouse construction, railhead expansions, and port upgrades, all driven by these 2026 nearshoring impacts.
So the timeline is tight?
Very tight.
Yeah.
If you're a commercial contractor in those regions, your bid boards are about to light up with multi-million-dollar projects in a way we simply haven't seen in decades.
Okay, I hear that, but my first thought isn't to pop champagne.
No.
Because if I'm a contractor staring at, let's say, 5 massive new 500,000 square foot warehouse bids in Texas, my biggest fear isn't winning the work.
Right.
My biggest fear is drowning. How do we physically handle the sheer volume of RFIs, daily logs, safety reports, and change orders without burying our project managers in so much admin work that they can't actually manage the build?
Well, looking at Smart Business Automator's Market Intelligence Report, the biggest barrier to scaling is the manual coordination required as a business grows.
Exactly.
You hit a ceiling where just throwing more bodies at the problem, hiring more admins, It just creates a more expensive, disorganized mess.
Let's ground this in reality for a second. Imagine, let's call her Sarah, one of your best project managers.
Okay.
You win 3 of these new mega warehouse projects and you assign one to her. Suddenly, her day isn't spent walking the site or coordinating trades.
She's just glued to a screen.
Right. She's spending hours digging through these deeply nested server folders just to find a specific site photo from 3 weeks ago, or an old permit, or, and this is the worst, a submittal that got buried in an 80-message email chain with a subcontractor.
That is the exact trap. Information gets siloed. A foreman uploads a crucial site image, but names the file, like IMG4092, and dumps it in a general folder.
Oh, I hate that.
We all do. Or the mechanical contractor sends a vital spec update, but it goes straight to a personal inbox. You develop this dangerous misalignment between the muddy boots on the ground and the office,
Yeah, the field is operating on yesterday's assumptions.
while the office is waiting on tomorrow's paperwork to figure out what actually happened today.
And when you're dealing with a massive port expansion or a mega warehouse, that misalignment isn't just an administrative annoyance. It means you are bleeding cash.
Every single minute.
I mean, a delayed RFI or a missed spec update can literally stall $1 million concrete pour.
And the manual coordination required to keep everyone on the same page, it grows exponentially with every single project you add, which is why we need to talk about a very specific technological escape hatch to break out of this bottleneck.
Smart document and project intelligence.
Exactly. We have to look at how artificial intelligence is being applied specifically to construction workflows to fundamentally change how information moves.
Okay, so the first piece of this is smart document organization. But sorting documents is a massive headache because, like we just said, everyone names files differently. How does an AI make sense of the absolute garbage data a typical job site generates?
It stops relying on file names entirely.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the AI actually opens the file, it reads the blueprints, it recognizes structural steel schematics versus electrical layouts,
Yeah.
It reads the actual text of a permit, and it analyzes the visual content of a site photo.
So it knows what it's looking at.
Exactly. Then it automatically tags, sorts, and categorizes that document based on what it actually is, not what someone named it. It creates a unified, instantly searchable database out of pure chaos.
That's incredible. And that leads right into the next layer here, which is document intelligence and spec checking. So the AI extracts vital details from the specs and compares the project info against the requirements to catch gaps. But wait, construction specs are notoriously messy.
Oh, absolutely.
The architect often says one thing in the project manual, and the structural engineer's drawing shows something completely contradictory. We see it all the time. How does an AI deal with contradictory human messes without, making a terrible assumption?
Well, that's the brilliance of it. The AI doesn't blindly guess which spec is the quote-unquote correct one. It understands the context well enough to flag the discrepancy.
Okay, so it raises its hand.
Right. It highlights the contradiction between the architectural drawing and the structural note and surfaces it to the project manager immediately, long before a subcontractor builds it wrong.
Wow.
It actively reads the documents to reduce oversight risk before a mistake becomes an expensive tear out on the job site.
So it enables this natural language smart search across all the project data. Instead of our project manager trying to remember where that spec is saved, she just types into the platform, "Where are the electrical submittals for the south wing?"
And the system just hands it to her.
It's like having an invisible super clerk and librarian embedded on every single job site.
Yeah.
It operates less like a digital filing cabinet and more like a digital nervous system. If there's a pain signal in your toe, like a missing permit in the field, it's instantly registered by the brain at the central dashboard, rather than waiting for the toe to, send an email to the brain.
The digital nervous system is the perfect way to visualize it. It retrieves information, answers questions, and supports decision-making across all your active jobs. But the platform truly shifts into high gear when it handles creation, not just retrieval.
Okay, give me an example.
Take RFI assistance. Requests for information take forever to draft accurately. You have to pull together all the context, reference the specific plan page, and write it up professionally.
So explain the mechanics of that. How is an AI drafting a highly technical RFI for a commercial build?
Well, the platform already has all the project documentation ingested, right?
Right.
When a conflict arises in the field, the PM prompts the AI. The system searches the historical context, finds the contradictory specs or the missing info we just talked about, and generates a draft RFI response.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It automatically references the correct spec codes, links the relevant blueprint sections, and drafts the technical language.
That's wild.
The PM isn't starting from a blank page anymore. They simply review the AI's draft, ensure it captures the nuance of the field condition, and hit send. It cuts a 45-minute administrative chore down to about 3 minutes.
And it does something similar for field reports, right?
Exactly.
It digests these long, rambling meeting discussions or disorganized field notes and turns them into clear daily log and meeting summaries.
Yeah, it pulls out the key takeaways, assigns the action items, lists the next steps.
So the PM stays completely aligned with the field without spending an extra hour at the end of an exhausting day typing up recaps in a trailer.
And when you implement this kind of system, you change the entire culture of your company.
How so?
Your project managers are no longer reacting to missing information or playing constant catch-up with paperwork. They move into a proactive state.
Right.
Because they aren't buried in admin, they can handle a significantly higher volume of projects simultaneously and with a higher degree of accuracy. That is the actual mechanism of scaling a construction business.
Okay, finding a delayed RFI and organizing documents is great, but let's push on this a bit.
Sure.
That doesn't stop a client from screaming at me about a massive budget overrun on a port expansion. If a construction company is taking on this wave of 2026 infrastructure work, leadership needs to know exactly where they are bleeding cash.
Naturally.
So how do these tools actually protect the bottom line?
It all comes down to schedule risk detection and budget insights. Because the AI is acting as that digital nervous system, it sees everything happening in real time. It doesn't just read the master schedule, it analyzes the velocity of your project activity.
So it understands the dependencies.
Yes.
Like if it sees that structural steel RFIs usually take 5 days to resolve with this specific architect, and your massive concrete pour is scheduled in 3 days, it flags the schedule risk because it knows the math doesn't add up.
Exactly that. It identifies possible delays and bottlenecks long before they escalate into major schedule slips.
It's huge.
And it applies the same logic to the financials, identifying budget changes and cost movement trends early. Leadership gets true visibility into where the money is going across multiple massive jobs. It moves the entire company from operational survival mode into strategic visibility.
Which brings up perhaps the most critical point for contractors taking on these mega projects: change orders.
Oh yeah, the pain point.
The ultimate pain point. Let's say you're building a massive seafood logistics warehouse on the Gulf Coast. The client suddenly wants to upgrade the entire refrigeration unit mid-build.
Happens all the time.
That is a massive, complex change order. Traditionally, that's a huge point of friction. The contractor slides a $150,000 bill across the table, the client gets defensive, and the relationship sours. How does this technology change that specific conversation?
By using what's known as change order impact analysis. The system instantly evaluates how that specific refrigeration upgrade affects timelines, costs, and execution across the entire job site.
So it's looking at the ripple effects.
Right. It looks at how the new unit changes the electrical load, how that impacts the conduit rough-in schedule, and how that delays the drywall subs.
It moves the contractor from a defensive posture to an offensive, highly strategic one.
Absolutely. Instead of just handing over a higher bill and a vague warning that the project will be delayed, the contractor presents a clear, data-backed impact report.
Here is exactly why this costs what it costs.
Exactly. Yeah. You sit down with the client and show them the exact ripple effect through the schedule and the budget generated by the AI based on hard data. It maintains absolute trust because everything is transparent and justified. You protect your margins and your reputation simultaneously.
And crucially, these tools don't just sit in a silo.
No, they can't.
Right. There are custom AI workflows and API integrations. You can connect this digital nervous system directly to your existing accounting software, your ERPs, and your field tools.
Which is vital.
Information moves smoothly between teams without anyone doing manual data entry. You aren't paying an admin to sit there and copy-paste from the AI tool into your accounting ledger.
The system generates internal updates, project summaries, and executive reports automatically. It pulls the financial data, cross-references it with the field progress, and delivers a clean report to leadership.
Amazing.
It drastically reduces reporting time and ensures consistency across the entire company.
So we're looking at a landscape where the sheer volume of work is about to explode.
Right.
Due to this Mexico-Tehuantepec corridor near-shoring boom. It's coming. The warehouse jobs, the port expansions, the rail facilities, they are going to be there. But the construction companies that actually profit from this boom, the ones that build generational wealth off of it, they won't be the ones who just hire the most bodies to push paper around.
No, they'll fail.
Right. It will be the ones who upgrade their central nervous system.
Exactly. To synthesize everything we've unpacked today, the 2026 nearshoring boom is bringing unprecedented opportunity to U.S. contractors. But capturing that opportunity requires fundamentally evolving past manual administration.
Yeah.
By utilizing AI platforms to organize project data, predict schedule and budget risks, and automate complex workflows like RFIs and change orders, construction businesses can scale effectively. They can handle the massive influx of work, protect their margins, and give leadership true, actionable visibility across multiple jobs.
It changes the entire business of building. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to mull over as you look at your own job sites tomorrow. If an AI system can instantly draft your highly technical RFIs, predict your schedule bottlenecks based on submittal velocity, and organize every single piece of project data, what does the future role of a project manager actually look like?
That's the real question.
Do they stop being administrative paper pushers entirely and become purely strategic directors on the site? And more importantly, are you taking the steps to prepare your team for that evolution today?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Before we wrap up, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to Scaling Legends on your preferred podcast platform so you never miss an insight. Please leave us a rating and a review. It really helps other contractors in the industry discover the show and grow their businesses alongside us. Share this deep dive with your colleagues, your project managers, or anyone on your team who would benefit from leveling up their operations. And finally, to learn more about everything we discussed today and how to seamlessly scale your construction business without drowning in admin, visit smartbusinessautomator.com.